I am going to be talking to you today about 5 ways I try to weave rest into my everyday and how that helps me avoid burnout. So welcome if you are new here. My name is Kendall Marie Platt. I'm a horticultural therapist and space holder for garden curious women. So I am on a mission to support you to create your garden sanctuary so that you can feel held, so that you can lower your stress levels, find some daily joy, and just generally enjoy your beautiful life. And I am the master at teaching you how to do that in just 20 minutes a day because we are all busy, right? And sometimes when we look out on our gardens, it just feels far too overwhelming to even know where to get started. So I am an expert at breaking it down, leading you gently, step by step, to creating your garden sanctuary so that you can have a gorgeous garden, yes, but also so that you can feel better. So, like I said, I'm a qualified horticultural therapist, and the whole way that I approach my work is with you at the forefront of mind, so that every single activity you do in the garden is actually going to help you to feel better, to improve your well-being and lower your stress levels. So, welcome to Adventures with Flowers TV. Shall we get cracking? Because I know this is a hot topic as, rest is hard, isn't it? When we've got a lot going on in our lives. So I've got a really complicated relationship with rest. No matter how exhausted I am, even if I'm unwell, no matter how much my body is screaming out, and my mind actually sometimes is screaming out at me to rest, I find it nigh on impossible to just do nothing. If I'm ill and I'm laying in the bed, oh my goodness, within about an hour, I'm just getting absolutely frustrated as hell that I can't get up and do stuff, even though I know I need to rest to get better. So I have done a lot of soul searching and a lot of introspection to try and unpick why that is. I know that it's due to my conditioning. So I was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. At a time where women absorbed that message that they were only worth something if they were producing. Now, I would argue actually that that message is still given out to us today. And so it's quite difficult, isn't it, to actually sit and do nothing, because that then means that if we're not producing or doing something or ticking something off of our to-do list, that we are not worthy. And that goes against everything that feels comfortable in our lives. So it makes sense then that we struggle to just sit and do nothing. It might be that you feel comfortable when you're doing things with your children, when you're working. We were very much kind of told that we could have it all, work, enjoy our lives, have kids, do all the things. But all that really meant was that we get to do it all, because no one's coming along to take any of those tasks off of you. So anytime that I need to rest, and I have to rest quite often because I have ADHD. So the way my brain works, it's very, very quick. And then I need time to rest and recuperate. So time doing something that isn't intense on my brain. So anytime I need to rest, I feel really conflicted. I know that my body and brain need downtime. Otherwise, I'm going to hit burnout again, which I have done twice in my life. So I have found alternative ways to weave rest into my busy days. Hello, if you're joining live, nice to see you. Hi, Joe. Hi, the Bloom. Say hi in the comments if you're able to, or give me a little heart at the bottom. I have had to find alternative ways because, like I said, just sitting and lying down and doing nothing just does not work for me. So I'm going to share 5 ways that I weave rest into my everyday, in case you fancy trying them as well. Number 1 then is journaling. So I make this a real ritual. I have a really lovely journal that I got for my 40th earlier this year. I make nice coffee. I come and sit here under there's a pergola above me that's got grapevine growing over it. So it's lovely kind of dappled shade, even in the heat. And and I make a real kind of ritual of it. In the winter time, I don't come and sit here, especially if it's raining. But what I do go and do is I go and sit in my greenhouse. I've got like a really nice comfy chair in there. So I'll take my coffee and my journal. I'll get really cozy, and I just write my thoughts out. I might write about something that's happened to me earlier in the day, just whatever comes to top of mind. Because, like I said, I've got ADHD, so my brain is very, very busy. There's a lot of thoughts going in there, a lot going on in there. And sometimes I just need to empty that brain out onto the page. It just gives me a real break from consuming information. And actually, by extricating that information out, it allows my brain to kind of have that breathing space. So, this is a really, really nice way to kind of give your brain a little bit of rest. Throughout the day. You don't have to sit and do it for hours. Sometimes I'm lucky if I get kind of 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe to just sit and scribble. But I always feel my brain feels much calmer afterwards, and I actually feel well rested. The second thing that I do then will probably come as no surprise to you is gardening. So after I have journaled in the morning, I then settle in for about an hour, usually around an hour of like focused work. It's usually quite intense because, like I said, the way my brain works, I really focus hard on things, and it just kind of goes. But once I start to notice my brain kind of getting a bit, I call it a bit fidgety, it struggles to focus on what I'm working on. I sometimes notice myself reaching for my phone. And if I've got that urge to reach for my phone, then I know it's time to kind of down tools with whatever I'm working on and go in the garden. So I go out in the garden. There's varying things that I do in the garden to kind of like help my brain to have a little bit of a rest. What I notice afterwards is that I'm then able to focus again. I often have more energy. I often am more creative. So especially if I've been writing and I've come a bit unstuck, which is usually then when my brain starts to get a bit fidgety, I notice that after I've done that gardening time, I come back and I've actually got a plethora of creative ideas. And there's something, gardening is a form of active rest. So this is where your brain is active enough that it can do the activity. So say you're weeding, for example. So your brain focuses on the activity that you're doing, but it's not so active that it becomes stressed. So for example, if you were writing something or you were putting together a presentation for work or in a meeting, your brain is very active because it's having to, come up with creative ideas. But this is kind of like a step down from there. So it's active enough, but it's not active that it becomes stressed like it would be if you were working. As part of my as part of the seed, the membership, my horticultural therapy membership, members get access to horticultural therapy activities for every week throughout the year. Some of them are just 5 minutes long, some of them are 20 minutes, and some of them are 60 minutes. But those 60-minute ones can actually be broken down into 20-minute blocks. So if you would love to come and give gardening a go as a way to give your brain a little bit of rest, a way to improve your energy levels, then you can come and join us. It is just £10 a month, which I think is about $11 or $12 a month, or £100 for the year. So, which must be what, $110, $120 for the year. So, we would love to have you. We have community garden along sessions where you can come and get gardening in community. But I think one of the most impactful things is the ability to just take 20 minutes, take an activity, go out in the garden, give your brain a little bit of a rest, but also be moving your garden forwards into creating the garden sanctuary that you want to create. The third thing then is no phone after 7:30 p.m. I use social media for promoting my business. And it works. I get a lot of my clients through social media. But what I do find often, and likely due to the way that my brain is ever dopamine seeking, is that I end up over consuming a lot of information. A lot of it is complete nonsense that I don't really need to consume. But the way that my brain is like, the way that my brain is set to work, it just kind of hunts for information. So that is just filling my brain with more information. So I also find myself often on my phone comparing myself to others because I'm looking at what they're doing, thinking, should I be doing that? I'm not having as a successful life as they are. All of this bollocks that, people only putting their best life on the internet. It's all a load of shite, isn't it? We know that. So by cutting off my phone usage after 7:30 p.m, it means that actually my brain has a little bit of a break from all of that extra stuff that I don't really need. So I'll use my phone during the day to promote my business, and then after 7:30, it goes in the kitchen away from me, so I can't be tempted. The fourth thing then, and I've kind of done these a bit out of order, sorry for that, is to have lunch with my husband. So it actually allows me to connect with another human being. I think when we work online, even though I do see clients in person as well, often it can be quite a solitary little life, can't it? So this gives me a real good excuse to connect with another human being. It actually helps us to have a conversation and a check-in about how the other one's feeling. I don't know about you if you've got kids, but I really struggle to have a proper conversation with my partner when the kids are around. And come the evening, I'm kind of knackered. I don't really want to dig into deep and meaningful. So a lunchtime little break allows me to kind of offload some of the stuff that I may be worried about to my husband and ask for help. So I really struggle to ask for help. So this gives me a daily opportunity to actually do that. And then the last thing then, number 5, is reading before I go to sleep. I'm just going to scroll down here. Because I've got some notes so I don't go off on a crazy tangent. So reading before bed. So escaping to another world, i.e. in the book, really helps my brain to switch off because I'm so focused on like what's happening for the characters that I forget about my to-do list, the things I need to do the next day. So reading, even if it's just for 20 minutes, and for me, I choose to do it before bed, it really helps my brain to kind of switch off and get in that mode for sleep. I would love to know, do you already weave rest into your everyday? What are you doing? Let me know, share in the comments. Or if you're reading this and watching this on email, then do hit reply and let me know how you're getting on. And like I said, if you would love to come and try a little bit of daily rest in your garden, I've made it super easy for you. I've got activities that you can just grab and go, get out in the garden, get that brain quietening down. There's instructions on how to get your brain to quiet whilst you're doing it in the community. So we would absolutely love to have you. I will put a button lower down in the article if you are reading this on Substack. Otherwise, send me a message and I can send you a link to come and join us. Right, I'm off. It's lunchtime. Gonna go eat my lunch. My husband's not here today, so I just have to talk to myself. So don't get a little bit of rest. But hey, back on it tomorrow. Have a good one. See ya.